Hi, I'm back. I taped this morning with my odd setup on the chair, and I put it up on the table to filter out that green light coming in, but I didn't really get enough light because with it up higher on the table, it blocked out light from the top part of the window, the wall at the top of the window. Anyway, I'm anxious to get on with the next step. What is in here would be session 7 of playing around, which was this morning, about 45 minutes altogether. I lost track of time. I actually was cooking something for myself, and I took it out and I said, "Oh, look at this nice used parchment paper. Nothing touched, it's just cooked. Let's go see what that looks like." And then the food was cold by the time I got back to it. So anyway, about 45 minutes. I spent a bit of time going through and putting squares, little white checkerboard squares in here. This guy's moving around. I'm going to do something with this next. I have the stencil pattern of this. It's cardboard, and I may just use white on it and probably use an acrylic to do it in order to preserve the stencil a little. Let's see. So I put some white squares in there that you can see. So I have to do this with one hand and keep it steady with the other. Okay, I put some more dots in here. I'm just going to do this as quickly as I can. And I put them over the elephants. This one's really quite nice, but it needs to go somewhere. This looks like a flamingo back here. This one is an interesting thing. Let me get a little closer just to talk about it. I went back after I did the white squares and decided to put some black squares in and put them in where they came from. And this is using the gouache paint, so it's a lot more charcoal-y looking than an acrylic. All right, you see it? Yeah, there it is. Nice and matte. And then when we go over it with a sealer of some sort, that's going to be acrylic. It'll shine it up somewhat, but just depends on what the sealer is. But that was a pleasant surprise. And using the gouache paints is also nice because, I think I mentioned it before, they wash right off the stencil. They don't stick on it. They dry, and you can use them, and they dry pretty fast. And then you just go stick them under the water and wash them off. Okay, here's another one that I went back in with this very charcoal-y black paint. And gouache is really just a very, very finely ground and formulated tempera paint. Okay, and you can paint over it, but if you get it real wet, it's going to mix up with your next layer. And, okay, more of the little squares on here. This was the extra work I put in on another session. I'm anxious to get back to this and go around all these little leaves out here. This one is in the process of being saved. And, today I went down to the library. Or was it yesterday morning? Yes, I went down to the library to see what hot deal I could get for free. And I got this. And I said, oh, they just retired the elephants. I've got to get this so that I have some elephant pictures, because I have this little elephant stamp in here. And I also have a little thing about memory, so that would be nice to put in. So I did that, and these pictures are Ringling Brothers elephants. They're not necessarily the performing ones. These were born there in an elephant sanctuary. This was the Trader Joe's plate that I had in the last video. So I stuck it in here with an elephant on it. Stuck another flip on there. Let's see, back. So I'm trying to get some magazine photos in, because I don't have a whole lot of pictures that I take out and clip. I do have things I rip, and they're all over the place. So this needs to have a little more of the white pen around the leaves. And, oh, I think I know exactly where to put that. Okay, I have some little tuck spots here and there of things that aren't glued all the way down, so that's nice. Here's the thing with the plants in it. Put some more of the white squares on. White squares and black squares. Here's some more stuff. This maybe could be some work towards making this more like a tree. I'm really liking this stuff here. There's some prints actually off of a stencil that didn't really take well, and these were testing out the stamp pad, so that's pretty. And oh, and then this charcoaly stuff, I started to really go, okay, hey, this is, you know, when it's hard drying, so this is quite different. It's not having a crisp edge, so let's really chiaroscuro this stuff. And I think I had this on already on excuse me, another video. Oh, but I put squares in to fix it up, and I might put that Alice in Wonderland white rabbit with the timepiece in here. That's another place. Here's one of these nice pieces of cooked parchment paper. Here's Buddha dreaming up these elephants. Could be a nice mad tea party as well. There. And again, rather than gluing these on, using the stencil they popped out of, which is also cardboard, and white acrylic to put them here. I like them. Makes it a little more festive here. Now here, I just ghosted them in with a dry brush to really use the chiaroscuro effect, that powdery gray. Nice. And here's the straight stuff. Okay. I'm still in a magazine picture collecting phase too that I need to go back into these with. So I need to get this quickly onto here so I can post it. And okay, I put the black and the white both in there. This is not the black from the stencil. These are my stamps with my initials on them that I have on every page, and these, since they're close to the back, got squished a bunch, so they're unrecognizable, so that needs to be restamped. And I found out that those things need to be heat set. That was part of the problem. So I intuitively knew that because I was considering sticking the whole journal in the oven overnight for the pilot light to heat. But I heat things generally just putting them in the sun. Okay. I did erase off all the pencil that I put on. I didn't really like it, but an erased pencil texture is something I do enjoy. I forgot I haven't used tracing paper in a long time. That's fun to put graphite on and erase. Okay, back. Sorry for this quality. I need to find my tripod. And this one, oh, I tried to demonstrate it and it didn't work too well, but this did an interesting thing. When I brushed a little bit of white on to bring up what I had initially stenciled, and I brushed the white on over the cat's face, it actually brought it out. And the ink, being not a water-based ink, more or less rejected the paint, except for where the paint took to the paper. So these were kind of mushy looking. But going over them with a dry brush, brought out more of the detail. Extraordinary indeed. Okay, I like this one, and that's 20. And this one, whoop, and this last one here, number 21, which was just a whatever, this is where, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. Belongs. This is the stuff I picked up. Oh, I pulled that when I was cleaning up the floor. This was a wrapper from the glue. This was life water that I was drinking. The tag I found on the way to the dentist. And in the process, that 21 that was on here initially got covered up, but it's still there. So just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. So I have to figure out where to put that. But I think this is the best place for it, because there is something there that I went looking for, and I said, where is that 21? I said, well, I guess it's under there. And that's it. And I started fooling around with some of the larger stamps for coloring pages and stuff. This I want to do something with. I just love it. And I keep sticking it in there and not really finding a place for it. But I love it. All right, that's it.